Hello and welcome. We are live at the Midwest Motorsports iRacing League. Thanks for joining us this Friday night. You know what that means? Time for the trucks. Truck Series, Chase Race number 2. You can tell by the graphic we are at the Auto Club Speedway, Fontana, California. D-shaped oval. Chase race number 2, pretty tight point racing. Still waiting for a couple of truck drivers who are in the chase. May not make it tonight. Not confirmed yet. We'll wait till the race start, give them a little more time to maybe get home Friday night. Long week of work. Fontana, California is a lot of fun. Side-by-side racing. Stick around. We still have about just under 4 minutes of practice left before qualifying starts. Riding with Albert Williams, you can tell he's using all of the apron. Going to be exciting. We're glad you're here. And another exciting bit of info is that we have somebody joining us in the booth. Greg Dreiss from the Sim Racing Podcast. You got me, Greg?
Sure do. How you doing? Thanks for having me on.
Man, we're sure lucky to have you here. We heard you on your Sim Racing Podcast, the Sim Racing Podcast, that you invited Eric and Justin Thaler, the founders of the Midwest Motorsports League, to your podcast. I listened. It was a great show. Tell me more about yourself and about the Sim Racing Podcast.
Well, I started doing iRacing about 7 years ago and came up with the idea for podcasting when I started doing a weekly update for our league, the Joe Sixpack Racing League, a couple of years ago, and said, it'd be kind of cool to see what other iRacers are up to. So started casting the net on a lot of the Facebook sim racing pages and got some great responses. And I've been doing the Sim Racing Podcast for about 2.5 years now. And we've had all kinds of people on, even an occasional Xfinity driver. We had Justin Clapper on last year, who was the tire changer for Zane Smith in the year he won the NASCAR Truck Series Championship. And it's just an outgrowth of when I used to do talk radio. And like we were talking last night, podcasting is just like talk radio, except you don't have to drive to your studio. I just go downstairs to my little podcast studio, no radio station to go to, and there's no time limits. So like a radio show, when I was on doing talk radio, it was 2 hours. Even if you had Moses was your guest or Beethoven, after 2 hours you had to turn off the mic. But with podcasting, it just goes on as long as you want, and that's the beauty of it, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's great. That's real exciting. Once again, the Sim Racing Podcast. If you want to look it up, I'm sure it's easy to find on all the podcast search items, players. So tell me a little bit more about your racing background. Why NASCAR? Why sim racing? Do you have family members? Is it just something? Are you a big fan? Started off and then got into racing? Do you have a favorite genre? NASCAR or road racing, Formula One? Tell us more about your racing experience.
My favorite racing is road racing, although I'm terrible at it, but I do mostly NASCAR, and been iRacing for about 7 years, racing fan since, going back to the days of Wide World of Sports back in the 70s and 80s when they used to show all the races then. Got out of it for a while, and probably about 15 years ago or so, my youngest 2 kids wanted to go to the dirt track about an hour from us. So we got hooked on dirt racing, and my son, who is now 22 and a NASCAR photographer, he started iRacing about 2 years before I did, and he was using my account, or my name, because he was underage to get on iRacing. And I get this email from iRacing that I got kicked off for, irresponsible conduct. And I said to Sam, you know anything about this iRacing that I got kicked off on? He goes, yeah, that was me. I got mad at somebody and ran him into the wall, and they did a protest. So sorry about that. So that's how I found iRacing, was because I got kicked off for something that he did.
Nice, very nice. So
Yeah.
is he still a racer, or do you guys share sim rigs, or do you fight over who gets the computer tonight?
Sometimes before he was a full-time motorsports photographer, we would put our schedules down on like a little whiteboard as to who was racing when. But pretty much now, he uses my rig, but we have our own iRacing accounts, and very seldom do we overlap. But since he's hardly ever home, if I have something
Right,
scheduled I want to do, I just say, yeah, go ahead, you can take my turn tonight.
right on, right on. That's really great, Greg. Here is the QR code for the Sim Racing Podcast. Grab your cell phone, take a quick snip of that. It'll take you right to the link for all of Greg's videos and podcasts that he has on the Sim Racing Podcast. So, Greg, we started qualifying. Real quick, I'll just break down. We're going to have 98 laps tonight. Stage breaks at lap 18 and lap 40, and then we'll re-rack them and go again. They start with the fresh set of rubber, and they have three more sets of tires in the pits if they want to stop and take tires or choose not to for their fuel stops. We're going green for 98 laps. Qualifying, it still has just over a minute and a half left. There are 12 chase racers. Most of them have yellow spoilers. You can see in the graphics here as we ride along with Jordan Haskovic. Jordan Haskovic is a chase racer. There's a yellow spoiler. Thanks, Colin. Colin Huffman in the booth, by the way, working the cameras. Shout out to Colin. And 12 chase racers. Dustin Reinstedel currently 10-point lead over Ryan Enlow. Sean Hapiak third, Mark Cochran fourth, Justin Thaler, one of the founders of Midwest Motorsports, in fifth, Robert Olofsson, Jordan Haskovic seventh, Justin Glockner eighth. I have not seen his name on the timing sheet. Makes me a little curious. Justin Glockner, your regular season points winner, by the way. James Olofsson in ninth, Andrew Miller 10th, Ryan Sargent, and Aaron Holroyd 11th and 12th. But they're only, within 20 points of each other. So anything can happen. A lot to play for here. And I believe that's a wrap on qualifying. Ryan Enlow on the pole. And our video is frozen, so forgive us. Or one of the overlays must have locked up. If I can refresh. Nothing like a little technical difficulties to keep us on our toes. But I do see Ryan Enlow, 2 purple sectors. Albert Williams just takes over. So qualifying still going, apparently. Like I say, Greg, never boring around here. Technical difficulties, part of broadcasting, right?
It's part of iRacing.
And iRacing, plenty of blame to go around. We just kind of roll with it here. Midwest Motorsports iRacing League. Midwest-motorsports.com is the website if you're watching and looking for a league to join.
You can always blame it on.
Broadcast.
Oops, sorry about it. You can always blame it on netcode. You can always blame it on netcode, right?
Right. That's a buzzword. Around here, you have to put $1 in the jar every time somebody says netcode.
Uh-oh.
Uses that as an excuse for a crash. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll send it. All right, I got Venmo.
There you go. Pay it. Pay up. We'll put it on your tab for now, Greg. We'll start you off that time. Really appreciate you joining us tonight. And after our discussion last night a little bit, I think you're actually a huge NASCAR fan. You're actually broadcasting with us from Watkins Glen Infield, the party pavilion. Tell us how your weekend's going.
Weekend's going great, except there's not much partying going on my end tonight. It's supposed to be 70 degrees today, but right now it's 54, a drizzle, and kind of breezy. So I'm just sitting in my truck trying to stay warm.
Everybody's hanging out inside of their bus or the truck, or
yeah, pretty much
staying dry and warm.
Yeah, usually it's crowded, everybody walking around the campgrounds, but there's not much activity tonight because it's kind of chilly and it's been drizzling since the start of the ARCA race at 6 p.m.
How was that?
It was a good race. There was a 17-year-old. It was his first start. He led most of the race, but there was a last minute caution, and then I forget his name. The last name it skips my mind right now. But a guy that's already won 4 in a row in 8 races this season did a bump and run on the last turn and won the dash to the finish line.
What's the phrase? You got to do what you got to do to get the win.
Pretty much.
And he gave him the chrome horn.
Yes, he did.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. I'm glad you're having fun up there. And once again, Greg, we appreciate you having us on your podcast, and we appreciate you joining us tonight for the truck series. I understand if you have to cut out a little bit early, don't feel like you have to stay for the whole thing if you don't want. We'll take what we can get. We're very happy to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Good to get to know you even more. So I believe qualifying is over. Waiting for everybody to grid up. Our overlays have refreshed. And the grid is set. Albert Williams on the pole. Congratulations, Albert Williams. Not a chase racer, by the way. Ryan Enlow second. Mark Cochran and Dustin Reinstedel, row 2. Jordan Haskovic, Bill Lance, row 3. Justin Thaler, strong qualifying at 7th. Sean Hapiak, 8th. Andrew Miller, 9th. Ryan Letshaw, 10th. Josh Watt, 11th. Good run for Josh. Brandon Morris, P12. John Astlin, 13th. Ryan Sargent, 14th. James Olafson and Robert Olafson, 15-16. Eric Thaler, running race control. He's in timing and scoring for some reason. Hunter Carlson, Brian Hoskins, David Uelhanen, Norm Snyder, and Jason Perry, and no Justin Glockner. Shocking. But here's what it is. Waiting for the countdown timer. Looking at about 2 minutes to go. We roll out. Trucks are on the track. One second here. Sometimes we get to interview the pole setter. It looks like Albert Williams, Ty Williams, I believe he goes by, from Snellville, Georgia, on the pole, deciding he wants to focus on the racing tonight, which won't blame him at all for that. Ryan Enlow, he is a chase racer, second in the points. He's on the outside of the number 35 truck. Ty Williams, the 81 truck, on the inside. Ty Williams' normal paint livery as a yellow spoiler. So that's going to confuse me all night. 1 second here. Looks like the lights are off on the pace car. So that means we're going to go green as the field tightens up. And the field is on Ty Williams on the inside. We're going racing for 98 laps at Auto Club Speedway. Hammer down. Very wide racetrack. You can see the seams. 3, 4, 5 seams separating each racing line. They'll be fanned out all through each corner. A D-shaped oval. So the exit of turn 2 comes up a little tighter than the curved front stretch. You can see a straight line looking back from Ryan Enlow in the lead. Looks like Dustin Reinstedel gets around Ty Williams for second spot. Ryan Enlow out all by himself now. That might hurt his overall speed. It's Ty Williams and Dustin Reinstedel team up together and get a little slipstream draft going. Down on the apron further back, 4 wide. Greg, feel free to chime in with anything. I'm not sure if you're watching the stream with us. I hope you are.
Yep, I'm watching.
Pretty good racing. Yellow's out already. That didn't take long. I don't know if that was a quick trigger finger or if somebody actually went around. Norm Snyder and Jason Perry may have gotten into something. I believe Eric Thaler is running race control tonight. May have been a quick trigger or somebody went around. Here's a replay. We're riding along with Josh Watt in the 20 truck. All the way in the back. Something happening up in front, just behind. Not the first time we've had a inadvertent caution, but what can you do? We get to re-rack and we get another restart. Not sure if Ryan Inlow was happy with that. It actually might have saved him. All good. Josh Watt in the 20 truck. Josh Watt, serving double duty, also runs the Twitch stream, Rivenvale. We might have some viewers watching right now. Thank you, everybody, to who's watching on your preferred streaming site. But again, lights are on the pace car, so we're going to go around for at least another lap.
I did something like that a couple of weeks ago through an inadvertent caution on my button box. I went to hit the button to change the tires, and I ended up throwing a caution instead. I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah, it happens a lot. I know some people have, quick buttons set, or hotkeys set for a space bar, and then you go to type in a text and it hits space and throws out the caution. That's been known to happen also. Again, Midwest-Motorsports is the home for everything Midwest Motorsports. If you want to sign up for a league, we have Trucks, Xfinity, and Cup, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, respectively. We have a road series who's right now in between season. We're going to start back up Tuesday night. Or they run on Tuesday nights. We're going to start back up here in a couple of weeks. GT4 is the car of choice for this next season. It's going to be a lot of fun for the road series. Midwest-Motorsports.com or click the QR code on your screen. Looks like a lot of guys came into pit. You think they're topping off a little early for tires, right, Greg?
Yeah, a little early for tires. Looks like they're changing a little bit of fuel strategy for that first stage, which is kind of early at lap 18, correct?
Correct. 18 laps. Looks like everybody came in. Ryan Inlow, Dustin Reinstedel, Albert Williams, top three. So everybody came in to top off. That does say something about the fuel burn here. How much practice do you do, Greg, when you're getting ready for just a Joe Sixpack Racing League race? Do you really dial in your fuel so you know your numbers and what you have to hit and have a strategy ahead of time? And then
I try to have a strategy ahead of time and do some practice with the team. There's like 4 or 5 of us on our team in the 802 Cup Series League. It depends on time. For instance, in the winter, I'm in the landscaping business, so I have plenty of time to practice. So I'll practice 7-8 hours a week. But during the busy season, I'm lucky if I can get a couple hours in. If it's a track I'm not familiar with, I'll still try to get 3 hours of practice in during the week before the race, just to get a feel for it. And not so much go out there and do hot laps, but just try to get a good rhythm going and do 20 or 30 laps without getting loose anywhere. And then I feel comfortable with it after a couple long runs.
Right on, right on. Lights are out in the pace car, so we're going green. I like the team aspect. You have 8 teammates. You guys usually try to hook up together during the week?
Yeah, we try to. It's a little difficult with everybody working. So, but we do try to get at least one team practice in. And we communicate right before the race on our team channel. And during the race, it's pretty good changing strategies based on the position we're in, fuel windows, and how many cautions come up.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Well, I'm sure it helps. The more the merrier to get more input you get.
It's much better than running solo like I did for a number of years before you joined a team or put a team together. It makes a big difference in a whole other aspect and dimension to racing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, you've been bitten by the bug. It sounds like you're in the right field. And again, when you got it, you got it, Everybody's
Yep,
always looking for the angle.
that's
Ryan
true.
Enlow and the 35 truck on the inside. Looks like Barry waves the flag. We're going green again. Ty Williams slides up in front of Dustin Reinstedel to take that high line. Pretty smart. He learned from the first start. They fan out, looking for clean air on the nose. Dustin Reinstedel has a little bit of momentum. Fanning out 3 wide. So many lanes here, this big track.
There's a lot of lines to run.
Build. Go ahead. There are a lot of lines to run. Do you have a preference? How long does it take you to? Is there tire savings running a different line? I think we're going to see a lot of throttle modulation from what I've seen at Auto Club.
I'm sure there's a lot of ways to save tires. I'm certainly no expert on it, and I tend to get a little rambunctious early on and learn from my mistakes on the first couple of runs because I do burn tires pretty quick. It's a discipline not to burn them too quick. It's just too easy to get out there and run pedal to the metal, try to stay up front, and then you pay for it in the end.
It is a learned skill, and really the only way to learn is through experience and doing it and remembering both good and bad experiences and try to apply that to the next race. But it's a evolving thing and a skill that nobody ever really masters. You're just doing the best you can.
Yep, that's for sure. I was in
cool. Let's talk about. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was at P10 on our last race with it was 110 laps with 10 to go, and we had a late stage caution with 10 laps to go, but my tires were so shot, I ended up finishing like 14th. I just went right down to the apron, let everybody go by because my tires were so bad I didn't want to take anybody out. So instead of a P10, I ended up in 14th.
Nice. Well, I guess you could be lucky considering. It may have been a smart move only to lose 4 spots as opposed to possibly crashing out or running the wall. Dustin Reinstedel slides under Ty Williams here early racing. Ty Williams tries to cross them over. Still not clear yet. Looks like he's right behind him, still in the outside lane. Slipping right in the draft. Dustin Reinstedel maybe even bumping drafting a little bit. Coming into turn 3 around the D-shaped oval again. Ty Williams again looking for clean air. After giving Dustin Reinstedel a bump as they catch back up to Ryan Enlow. Ryan Enlow, your leader, 25 years old from Hickory, North Carolina. He's got a couple of dogs, Dash and Sophie, giving him tips and advice on how to stay up front. Jeff Gordon is Ryan Enlow's favorite driver. Ryan Enlow has his private pilot's license in training to be a professional pilot. Does sim racing on the side for fun. Pretty cool. Ryan Enlow all the way out the wall.
A lot of respect for someone that has a private pilot's license. That's not easy to do.
For sure. And that's something you don't want to get wrong.
No, especially when you're flying one engine.
Too wide here. Dustin Reinstedel holding tight inside line, giving plenty of space to Williams out there on the outside down this long back stretch. Into turn 3, a big arc. Turn 3 entry is a little narrow, but the exit opens up a little bit. He puts the power down. It's like they're staying in 4th gear the whole time. No shifting that I've seen. 6 more laps left in the stage. So we're coming up on the end of stage 1. I think everybody after that early caution should have enough fuel to get to the end of the stage. We'll see if anybody pits early. The pits close 2 laps before the stage, just like the Craftsman Truck Series. So they got 3 or 4 more laps if they decide they want track position after the pit stops and stay out during the stage break. Maybe some in the back.
With that early caution,
Schneider's been known to do that.
That early caution will be interesting to see if any trucks stay out and not pit.
That's another great point. Get points and stay out. and then short pit to second and stay out when everybody else comes in for fuel when they run out. That's a great strategy, Greg. I'm smelling what you're cooking, man.
Well, it's a strategy. I don't know how great it is, but we'll see if it works for somebody.
Yeah. Everybody has a theory, and you never know until you play it out. I mean, it's really reality TV playing out in front of us every Friday night in these truck series. Looking back from Mark Cochran here, thought I recognized that paint scheme. Mark Cochran looking back at Justin Thaler. Mark Cochran is currently 4th in points, Justin Thaler at 5th in points. So this battle here definitely has season points implications. Still early in the race, Justin Thaler getting a good run coming off of 4. Really smooth. Bump drafted. Mark Cochran, veteran. You know, you have to be good at bumping and be a good bumpy. So do you have a preference, Greg? What's it like getting bumped going 180 miles an hour?
I would rather do the bumping than being the bumpy unless I know who's bumping me.
Right. I agree. Everybody knows Justin Thaler. I think you have to wave to him on our Discord before you even get in the Discord. So there's Justin Thaler completing the pass on Mark Cochran. Now clear. Let's see if he slides up in front. You can tell Justin Thaler is a Ford fan. Roush Fenway Keselowski stickers splattering that Trading Paints livery. Yellow spoiler, 2 chase racers. Again, 4th and 5th. I'm sorry, 5th and 6th. Battling it out here. You'd rather be the bumper than the bumpy?
In most cases, yeah. There's only maybe a handful of drivers in our league that I would want bumping me.
Right. How do you let them know? Do you just stay waving or tell them not to? Obviously, they can't see you waving your hand out the window, saying, no, don't do that. But
you just have to take it by chance and hopefully that they bump well, and then you can return the favor later on. So it's kind of find out if you tell somebody no too many times, then they're not going to help you when you need it. So it's kind of like take a chance and just hope it works out well for the best.
Right. If you're not living on the edge, you're not living. Well, pits are closed. We are watching the battle between Jordan Haskovic and Mark Cochran in front, I believe. Albert Williams sliding back. Oh no, Albert Williams getting around Dustin. Nice job for Snellville, Georgia's Ty Williams. Getting around Dustin Reinstedel, taking stage points away. I believe you still get points even though we're in the playoffs for stage. This is the fight for the green and white flag to end stage 1. Ryan Enlow's going to take it. Dustin Reinstedel is going to have to settle for 3rd. Ty Williams gets him back. Justin Thaler up 3 spots, takes 4th place at stage 1. Mark Cochran 5th. Yellow's out. Here's a replay. Uh-oh, not good for somebody. Maybe this is slow motion. There he is. He's going back now. Bear with us. It looks like it's possibly Ty Miller. There it is. It's like he may have pulled off. Cameras missed Ty Miller crashing out. Sorry about that. That's it. We're at the stage. Albert Williams 2nd to Ryan Enlow. Your pole sitter, Albert Williams. Got 2nd that stage. Congratulations to Ryan Enlow, though. See how many people come down to pit. How many people take the Greg Dreiss strategy and stay out. Sorry, Greg, so far, no takers for your strategy.
Well, a lot of times my strategy doesn't work. Still on the learning curve for all the racing strategies.
Hey, it's all good. I like it. Do something different. You know, I mean, if you're just following the leader, you're not going to win. You're just following.
Yeah, so sometimes you got it. got to do something different.
You got to mix it up, right? If you do the same thing, you're not going to expect a different result. Here we go, the race off of pit road. See, some people might have taken 4, some people may have only taken 2. Ryan Enlow's your stage winner, as the graphic shows there, but he comes out of the pits in second. I don't have pit stop times in front of me, just when they pitted. Let's see. Pit time, there we go. All right, let's see. Dang. Albert Williams even spent more time in the pits. His pit stop was at 8.12 to Ryan Enlow's 7.73, so good job for him. Maybe it's getting off a pit lane. Maybe Ryan Enlow might have missed a year or something. We know that iRacing never takes control of the vehicle, so it's up to you to get in and out of pit lane as fast as possible. Albert Williams, your pole sitter, comes out in front of Ryan Enlow. Every inch matters at every stage of the race. Greg, do you have a favorite track? How long did it take you to get comfortable with buying more and more iRacing tracks and then building your collection to compete in a league?
Oh,
what was that progression like for you?
Probably about 6 or 7 months, and then I started seeing what was in the leagues and raced in a couple, and then actually started my own after about 8 months of racing. So it took about probably a good 3 or 4 months before I felt comfortable buying more tracks. So I usually did the Carb Cup and the Truck Series, the free the truck races there for a while till I got comfortable, and then I did a few of the officials, and then started searching for leagues and getting involved there. So I do almost exclusively leagues now.
Oh yeah, there's a big difference in the racing and the official races versus a league races where you're racing familiar faces and names over and over. Everybody's had a couple of 4Xs that they feel like they didn't deserve by somebody getting a little too excited and
yeah. So just for kicks and giggles, I'll do the Pickup Cup and the Carburetor Cup because they're short races. They don't take all afternoons. So I'll do those a couple times during the week when I just want to go down and race and not have to have a long-term commitment for the day or evening.
Right on, right on. Well, we're about to start stage 2 as Albert Williams brings them to the line. The light's green. We're going to call stage 2 the Sim Racing Podcast stage. How about that?
Sounds good to me.
Stage 2, Midwest Motorsports, brought to you by the Sim Racing Podcast. Dustin Reinstedel looking low on Ryan Enlow. Lap 1, Ryan Enlow decides to take the high line. Has a little more momentum, but is stuck now behind Dustin Reinstedel in front of him. You can see the exhaust flames coming out as they lift. Rolling speed, 4th gear. Smooth throttle application. So how long did it take you to get your sim rig comfortable as far as the position of the wheel or the pedals, the seat, the right distance? Maybe
that was
you finally feel ready.
Everything, it's always changed it a little bit, but probably about a year until we had it set up the way we wanted it. And just last year, I finally upgraded pedals to Club Sport. Still got my G920 wheel. That's good enough for me, but I realized if I wanted to drive better, I had to get better pedals. Not sure if I'm ever going to change the wheel. It's just something I like doing. For the amount of racing I do, it certainly fits, but pedals made a huge difference.
Absolutely. Yeah, and there's once you're comfortable with something, you know what to expect. You can focus on your racecraft. Like these guys, Justin Thaler trying to get around Ryan Enlow there for 3rd. Once you know what you've got, you know what to expect. You're not always changing things or trying something new. It's hard to be consistent if you're always trying something. So we're looking at a replay here.
It looked like somebody went off the track there.
Cars going around. Yeah, Sean Happyuk and the 53 truck, right? I don't know. It's like Sean Happyuk lost it on its own in front of him. I'm not going to say the N word. I didn't see contact, but I believe that's Andrew Miller helping him go around, or maybe at least spinning around right in front of him. Colin works the camera here. Well, there we go. Oh, yeah, Jordan Hashkovic. Excuse me. Sorry, Mr. Miller. Oh, yeah, definitely contact. Not intentional, just one of those things. Jordan tried to carry speed in the wrong part of the track. A little bit early in the race. We're yellow, so Sean Happyuk going around backwards, trying to drive with his mirror. I hope he avoids contact on the inside wall, but Jordan Hashkovic, a regular here, definitely. Jordan's a chase racer. 7th in the chase points right now. As he gets her pointed the right direction.
Looks like he avoided the wall.
Great news. Still gets, what, you're going to get a 4X for going around causing a yellow?
I don't know if that's 4X. Depends on how much contact was made, I think.
Right on. Thank you. That's by lack of knowledge. That's why you have an expert like Greg helping me out tonight. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Expert? Not me.
It's all relative, right?
Yep.
Compared to me, you're the expert. Between the two of us, you are the expert tonight.
Well, what do they say? Even a high school of dunces graduates of valedictorian.
There you go. I like it. I'm happy being the dunce. Would not be the first time. Looks like Justin Thaler's taking over the lead here. Ryan Enlow down to 5th. Wonder if he pitted again? Let's see. Last pit lap 24. Trying to sort out what's going on, but hey, Justin Thaler taking over the lead while we were watching replays. Robert Olofsson 2nd. Andrew Williams 3rd. Dustin Reinsettle 4th. Ryan Enlow 5th. Mark Cochran 6th. Hunter Carlson up 11 spots in 7th. Moving and shaking.
Our driver.
Got some guys blinking in and out. I will take this opportunity to maybe talk a little bit more about Auto Club Speedway. Before COVID, they were talking about putting a short track inside of Auto Club Speedway. It's going to have long straightaways, kind of like Martinsville, and then Bristol corners. They got approvals, working using some of the same garages, just having a different track on the inside. It's supposed to be completed by the 22 season, but when COVID and then the Busch Clash at the Coliseum, of course being California, not too far away, they ended up scratching the plans once NASCAR gave the rights for the race at the LA Memorial Coliseum, which I think was a good decision. Looking back now.
It's an interesting race at the Coliseum. I'm glad that you see it. Talk about doing things different and getting outside your comfort zone. NASCAR's doing that pretty well lately.
They really are. Street racing, never thought I'd see that. And then, yeah, it's short inside of a football field. Other than Bowman Gray, there's not many of those around. All right, lights are finally out on the pace car. Coming around the D-shaped oval past pit entrance. Pace car is going to drop off here, and Robert Olofsson is on the inside. We do have to choose here. So Justin Thaler chose the outside. And look at this. Robert Olofsson decides to take a pit. So move Albert Williams up a spot. Move everybody up a spot. Looks like he might have missed the stage break. refill. But we're going back racing. Justin Thaler taking the high line. We did not see that work for Enlow. It's Enlow now is on the inside of Ty Williams. And there he is. Snellville, Georgia, logo on the back. I recognize that right up the street from me here in Atlanta. Takes the inside. It looks like Dustin Reinstedler and Justin Thaler bump drafting on the outside, the longer way around, trying to carry more speed and fan out 4 wide. With these trucks, beautiful racing here. Let's see if they slide up together. Try to sort each other out. Looks like Albert Williams dropping back just a little bit. Hunter Carlson all the way up to 5th now as they cross the line anyway. Justin Thaler in the middle, sitting duck, trying to leave room for Ryan Enlow. Now seals that off. Ryan Enlow in the 35 truck, Dustin Reinstedler in the 11 in front. Ty Williams dropping down all the way to the line. He's got somebody following him. See how they fan, how they bump up. Oh Lord, I'm in the back of the edge of my seat watching these racers coming out here. Ryan Enlow definitely pops out on Dustin Reinstedler. So much for being friends. They were friends for about a lap.
A lot of grooves being run.
That's right. That's right. And coming up just barely, not even a third of the way in, and the racing already is very competitive, tight. Anything can happen. Everybody wants to lead. Show what they have. What are you seeing, Greg? Some good drivers here. I mean, you can tell that this is not the first time these guys have sat in a truck and driven it around the track.
There's a lot of good, looks like a lot of good battles going back on in the mid-pack as well.
Midwest Motorsports is definitely a fun league. Lots of drama, again, in all of their races, all of their leagues. So there's a lot of storylines to be told. I know it's a lot of fun hearing your podcast about your different leagues. I think it'd be a lot of fun if we could figure something out on the Midwest Motorsports side. We'll have to see how that plays out in the future. Hopefully we can get something together. Keep your eyes open. But right now, Ryan Hoskins, like you said, in 8th place. The rowdy truck in front of him is Hunter Carlson. Don't know if he's going to make it all the way by and clear. They come down the long back stretch into 3. Coming up on Albert Williams just in front. Albert Williams drops down in front of Hunter Carlson. Two by two they go into turn 3. Pretty big field, 21 trucks tonight. Again, a chase race. We've had as many as, I think, 40 different drivers enter the truck series. Always make room for more.
'20 seems to be a good sweet spot to have for drivers on a track at once.
I definitely see how, especially on some of the shorter tracks, more than 20 would get a little bit crowded. I'm just watching all the exciting racing going on, trying to figure out who's trying to pass who. It looks like Andrew Williams continuing to drop back just a little bit. Maybe he did not take tires. Maybe that's how he got in front of him. I'm not sure. I'm just guessing. It seems to like he's falling off the pace once he got out of clean air. couple of blinkers. That happens a lot. Not much you can do when somebody blinks right in front of you, is there, Greg?
Nah, get out of the way because you don't know where they're going to pop back on the track again.
Yeah, exactly. Be ready for everything.
Yeah, and I know it's frustrating when I'm blinking because I had to actually drop out of a race once where I was in the lead with about a lap to go, but I was blinking so much I was, raising havoc. Looks like I had someone coming into the pits there.
Yeah, that's like Justin Taylor coming in the pits. A little strategy playing out here. Let's write this down. Lap 35 for Justin Taylor. Hope he's okay. I'm not sure if he's short penning, trying to undercut, maybe get out of traffic, and then turn some fast laps. It seems like running in the field would turn faster laps than running by yourself, to me. But I don't know. Hunter Carlson again fighting with Ty Williams here. Pits are closed for this next stage. No, I think it's a little early for that. Lap 40, so they should close at lap 38. So Justin Taylor doing a little strategy. We're definitely going to keep our eyes on him. He's dropped all the way back to 19th, right behind Ryan Sargent in the one truck. So we know what those. I know what those trucks look like. We'll see how they go. There's Mr. Bill Lance. Good to see Bill Lance having a good run out front. Fighting with Ryan Enlow here.
We have a
Mr.
team
Bill
in the
Lance trying to do. Go ahead.
Okay, we have a team in the 802 series that always short pits right like a couple laps before our competition caution comes out, and it seems to work well for them because they get back out on the track and they just take off like banshees.
Right on. Nothing like putting a fresh set of rubbers on. You feel like Superman, at least for a couple of few laps. Yep. So let's see if Justin Taylor can make up some positions after the stage break. We'll see how it plays out. There we go. Now the pits are closed. Lap 38, 40 is the stage break.
I would imagine there's going to be a lot of drivers coming in for fuel and tires this time.
Sure. Everybody came in at the stage break, so they've made it the full stage from 18 to 40. It's 42 laps. So we know they can at least go 22 on the tank. And Justin Taylor is going to have a 3-lap disadvantage, but he should be able to keep the lead if he stays out. Everybody else comes in. And look at this, Brandon Morris fighting with Jordan Ashkovic. Brandon Morris, another strong racer. Not in the chase, but has had a couple of really good runs this season. It's good to call Brandon Morris, and this is for the stage win. Brandon Morris down low, Ryan Enlow up high. Brandon Morris going to hold him off. Ryan Enlow's trying to get a slipstream. I can't call it. I don't know who got it.
That's a photo finish.
That's a photo finish for the stage. Oh, I don't know who called it. Let's see if Colin can give us a super slow-mo here. If he can hit the button right at the time they cross the line. Ryan Enlow down low. Brandon Morris, I still can't call it.
No, that's really close.
That's a dead tie. Ryan Enlow on the bottom, Brandon Morris in the middle of the track. All the way down to the apron. Here they come. Ryan Enlow's taking the shortest distance possible. Brandon Morris being courteous and giving him plenty of room. Might have been his downfall. And here we go. Oh, it's got to be a tie. It's Bill Lance. I'm sorry. Bill Lance and Ryan Enlow. I don't know why I thought it was Brandon Morris. Forgive me on that one. Bill Lance.
If I had to
Looks like
guess,
he gets it.
I would say Bill Lance got it if I had to make a guess.
There we go. It's a good guess. There it is. Stage winner. What a great run.
That was
And
a good
Ryan
finish.
Enlow, coming from behind, gained about a truck and a half length from the exit of 4 to the line. So I have to remember that as they come across the line for the finish. Sorry, Bill Lance. I definitely owe you an apology for saying that was Brandon Morris, and I should also apologize to Brandon. Happens every now and then.
Yep. Well, I'm going to take advantage of this caution and this stage break and jump out of here because I've got some company coming tomorrow, and I got to make sure I'm up getting breakfast ready for them when they show up at 7. So thanks for having me on, and look forward to working with you guys in the future.
Hey, you're welcome anytime, Greg. You have our phone number. Call us anytime. Hit us up. We're glad to hear from you. We'll keep pushing the Sim Racing podcast. And again, really appreciate you stopping by. Have fun at Watkins Glen.
Will do. Have a good weekend. Bye.
See ya. Thanks again. Greg Dreiss, everybody. If you get a chance, let everybody know how much you appreciate Greg by start checking out his podcast, giving it a like, a thumbs up, or whatever your podcast player of choice is. Congratulations. There's the Sim Racing podcast again. Snap the QR code and a YouTube channel, Twitch channel on the screen, as well as the QR code will take you right to it. All right, Bill Lance comes out of the pits. Looks like Justin Taylor pitted again. All right, that is what it is. Lights are out on the pace car. Bill Lance is going to take us to the green. When we come back by, headed down the back stretch. We're riding now on the inside, looking at the ignition box of Bill Lance, your Stage 2 winner. Congratulations to him. Starting in 4th gear as the truck pace car is going to drop off. Maybe we'll do a lap around Auto Club with Bill Lance. All right, it's on you, Bill. It's 2nd gear. Coming to the line to start the 3rd and final stage. We're going to go all the way to lap 98 from here. 55 lap run. Bill Lance gets a good run, good jump. Ryan Enlow about 2 truck lengths behind. Dustin Reinstedel, Ty Williams not far behind. Great run for Bill Lance. Happy to see him running up front. It looks like Ryan Enlow working the outside high line. Oh, now Ryan Enlow ducks down low. Bill Lance on the high line. Bill Lance, 48 years old, from Orlando, Florida. Riding now with Albert Williams. They're 3 wide in front of him. Jordan Askovic, I'm sorry. Bill Lance starting to drop back now. Jordan Askovic gets a good run. Bill Lance lost a lot of momentum. A couple corners there. The broadcaster's curse as soon as I start talking about him. Looking him up on our fun fact sheet and talk about him a little more, and it starts to drop back. But we'll still talk about Bill Lance, 48 years old, from Orlando, Florida. 2 cats, 2 dogs. Likes all forms of racing. Here we go. All right, back up front with Dustin Reinsettle and Ryan Enlow on the inside. Dustin Reinsettle in the 11 truck on the outside. Dustin takes the short way around. Side by side again, but Ryan Enlow up front, about 2 or 3 truck lengths ahead. Mark Cochran there now. Mark Cochran, Albert Williams, Dustin Reinsettle. Ryan Enlow out front. Dustin Reinsettle in the 11. Jumping back and forth a little bit. Thanks, Albert Williams. Follows Dustin Reinsettle across the line. Dustin goes a little high, trying to avoid a bump draft, I believe. Riding with Albert Williams. Lots of moving and shaking. Behind him, we got Albert Williams, Jordan Askovic, and there's Brandon Morris, 3 wide, all behind Mark Cochran. Albert Williams in the 81 truck, your pole sitter. Back down to 8th. It's got Brandon Morris in front, Jordan Askovic in front of him. Brandon Morris in the 39, the blue Conway truck. Brian Hoskins says, I want some of this. Brian Hoskins coming up now behind Mr. Williams. Brandon Morris up high. Looks like Mark Cochran and Dustin Reinsettle are trying to decide if they feel confident enough to bump draft. Not yet, he says. There he is, Albert Williams again. Slide job up in front of Brandon Morris. Brandon Morris gives him a little bump, lets him know I'm here. Up to 192 before lifting into turn 3. Mark Cochran in the 93 truck. The blue, mostly white and baby blue. The high line, I call it the 3rd lane. Outside of Jordan Askovic. Three wide, they're fanning out. Mark Cochran, Jordan Askovic on the inside. Ty Williams stays up high. Brandon Morris trying to figure out how to get around them all. There we go. Across the line. Let's ride with Justin Thaler for a track racer lap of the track. Auto Club Speedway, turn 1. Lift into 4th gear down to 165 and then easy back on the throttle. Long back straightaway. Track racer, quickly snap a picture with your camera phone. 190 I saw there. Entry of 3. QR codes on the top left over your screen. The affiliation link we have at Midwest Motorsports with Track Racer if you're in for monitor stand or more aluminum frame sim rig mounting hardware. TrackRacer.com is our affiliation link. Thanks, Justin, for giving us a lap around the Auto Club Speedway. Brandon Morris still looking for a way around Mark Cochran. Bump drafting, give him a little push. Not in the corners. Definitely not in the corner of the truck. Right up on his bumper load and try to bump draft him, or is he going to pop out and make a pass? I think right now it's too early to make any enemies. So I just either sit in line or give him a push. Brandon Morris takes the high line. Mark Cochran right in the middle of the track. This is the battle for 3rd. Up front, Ryan Enlow and Dustin Reinstedel. But Brandon Morris has gone to the front, up 8 spots. Qualified 12th, up to 4th now. There's a nice little push. Gain a few RPM. Trying to catch 2nd place. I'd say Brandon Morris is a good pusher. Mark Cochran, not too excited about being pushed. We do have some pitters. Looks like the top 5, 6, 7 are coming in now. Oh yeah, everybody's coming in. Maybe they can make it to the end from here. Lap 55. Lots of takers on the pits. See what happens. What that means right now, though. Nobody's out. Ty Williams. Ryan Sargent. Riding with Ryan Sargent now. Ryan Sargent in the 1 truck. Now Brandon Morris decides he's ready to come out. Race off the pit road. Brandon Morris. Is Jordan Hatchevick going to get around him? Or I'm sorry, Ty Williams. Gets it, goes around. Give it a second, let time in the scoring catch back up. Brandon Morris still in 3rd. Bill Lance finally pits. Look at that. Jordan Haskovic looking up at Mark Cochran. Mark is in 4th. Jordan Haskovic 5th. Jordan Askovic still looking for a way around Mark Cochran. Ty Williams still way out front. Brandon Moore's second. Jordan Askovic still looking for a way around Mark Cochran. Here we go, Sean Happig now. Currently 11th. Getting pressure from James Olofsson. Working lap 60, 38 to go. Back up to third now. Fourth and fifth, I'm sorry. Mark Cochran and Jordan Askovic still trying to sort out who wants fourth and who's okay with fifth for now. Jordan Askovic might save a little fuel staying tucked up behind him, working together to catch Dustin Reinsettle in third, who is just over a second and a half in front. All this allows Brian Hoskins to catch back up, though, in the 55 truck and moving behind him. Inside now. Jordan Askovic side by side with Mark Cochran. Once again, decides now's not the time. Throw a block on Brian Hoskins, make sure he doesn't lose a spot. Ends up taking a higher line through the middle of turn 3 and 4. See if Brian Hoskins has enough to get alongside, but Mark Cochran stays low. Decides not to slide all the way up in front of Jordan this time. And I'd say he's clear now. Jordan Askovic, move him up to fourth, at least for now. Mark Cochran fifth, with Brian Hoskins right on his tail. Nice pass that took about 10 laps. But give it to Jordan Askovic, takes the position. Back up front now with Dustin Reinsettle and Brandon Morris. Already caught up with Dustin here. Sorry, I'm getting a lot of lag on my screen currently. My connection must not be great right now. We're riding with Dustin Reinsettle. With Brandon Morris right on his bumper. Up in front is your leader, Ty Williams. So again, Ty Williams not in the chase. We did see him drop back earlier. So maybe he got tires this time, and that's causing him to have a great run on this set of tires right now. Here we are back with Mark Cochran fighting with Brian Hoskins. Brian Hoskins, the 55 truck. With Jordan Haskovic just in front. So how difficult or how long it took Jordan Haskovic to pass Mark Cochran. Let's see if Brian Hoskins can do the same. Little by little, a lot of clean racing going on. Fractions of a second each lap. Brian Hoskins is getting closer and closer to Mark Cochran. Too close to call, but this allows Justin Thaler and 00 to get up behind him. Here we are with Brian Hoskins looking at Mark Cochran, rolling throttle. And there he is, Justin Thaler, right on cue. Takes P6 away from Brian Hoskins. Justin Thaler now setting the sights on Mark Cochran. The 93 truck. Black, blue, and white. They're going 3 wide. Justin Thaler around the outside. Mark Cochran, I'm here. Let's see if Brian Hoskins can follow Justin around Mark Cochran this time. Nope, Justin Thaler's clear. Mark Cochran tucks in right behind him. Now it fans out. So you go through the middle of turn 3. Justin Thaler trying to track down Jordan Haskovic 1/10 of a second at a time. Meanwhile, Dustin Reinstedt's taking the lead over Brandon Morris. We're watching the battle. It's Justin Thaler smoking. Justin Thaler is hauling a mail. Right now, for some reason, he's able to gap people. Maybe he took 2 tires and took the other 2 the second time he came down. Got 4 freshies. More guys are coming to pit. Almost everybody's coming in the pit. Look out. Brandon Morris stays out. Everybody else coming this time. Mr. Bill Lance stays out. Looks like Sean Happick is staying out. David Ulehanen stays out. And here comes Brandon Morris. Ty Williams, look at that. Once again, a fast pit crew has gotten Ty Williams out in front of Dustin Reinstedtl. Pretty amazing. That's the second time. It looks like Dustin spent 14 seconds in the pits. Dustin Reinstedtl did. To Ty Williams, 7.25 seconds in the pits. 14.7 must be a 4-tire stop. Ty Williams took 2. Brandon Morris stays out. Oh, Brandon Morris took 2. Dustin Reinstedtl took 4. Mark Cochran took 2. Justin Thaler took 2. Jordan Haskovic takes all 4. So here we go, Jordan and Justin Thaler again, working at it. This is the battle for 5th. Justin Thaler has it. Jordan Haskovic wants it. Haskovic 7th in points. Mark Cochran down low on the inside. 3-way truck battle once again. Jordan Haskovic bobbing and weaving on the front straight. Goes all the way outside to the safer barrier. Here we are again with Brandon Morris. Good to see him rocking it. In the cockpit, 180. That's all I can see there. Justin Thaler has Ryan Sargent in the black number 1. Right behind him. Trying to block any way he can. Driving in his mirrors. A good 5 car lengths away from Brian Hoskins. Trying to hold off Ryan Sargent. Ryan Sargent is in the chase. You can see his yellow spoiler. Ryan Sargent currently 11th points as a 22 truck. Robert Olofsson stays low. Thank you, Mr. Olofsson. Can he do it? Ryan Sargent looking left, looking right. Goes all the way up on the cushion, right up against that safer barrier. And don't look now, down low. Here comes Mr. Bill Lance in the 6. Hello, how are you? 4th gear. 174, 5, 4. And look at Mr. Bill Lance on the inside, rolling speed. Doing a slide job in front of Justin. Nope, not this time. Look behind him. Couple of lap trucks. The Olofsson fellers. James Olofsson, Robert Olofsson. The 9 and the 22. Not for position, but they're having their own battle. Trying to get their lap back from Thaler at least. Slides up, backs out. Nice work, James. Ryan Hoskins looking inside of Jordan Haskovic. Does he slide all the way up to the wall? Not this time, give him plenty of space. Great racing by Brian Hoskins. And Jordan takes 2 to race this well. Across the long corners, Fontana. Fontana's hosted NASCAR races since 1997. Kyle Busch won the last truck race here, 2009. Jordan Askovic channeling his inner Kyle Busch, trying to get around Brian Hoskins right in front. Riding once again with Jordan Askovic. Plenty of laps to go. I expect action to start heating up right about now. Some more cars coming in to pit. Justin Taylor, Ryan Sargent, Albert Williams, Ty Williams in the pits also. Ryan Enlow in the pits. Could be wrong on some of that. My timing and scoring screen's going crazy. Dustin Reinstettl still out there in the lead. Ryan Enlow second. Ty Williams third. Brian Hoskins fourth. Up 15 spots in the 55 truck. But here's Ryan Enlow in second. Ty Williams right behind him. They're staying out for now. So if you stop now and crank out some fast laps, you might be able to overtake if these guys don't have enough to get through. Ryan Enlow, second place, riding along with them, chasing down Dustin Reinstettl right in front. Dustin goes high, Ryan Enlow stays low. Side by side, coming off of two. That wall really pinches down early. Plenty of space given by Ryan Enlow. Dustin Reinstettl knows Ryan knows what's up. Dustin gives up the ghost for now. Doesn't fight him too hard, but knows that this is not the lap that pays the points. That is still 16 laps to go. Ty Williams comes in to take his pit stop. Let's see where he comes out. Jordan Askovic now back up to Brandon Morris. Lap truck, a black and orange truck in front. It's like Norm finally comes in. Jordan Askovic, Brian Hoskins. I'm sorry, Brandon Morris. Yeah, more and more guys are keep pitting. I believe that's Ryan Enlow and Brian Hoskins, maybe. John Aslan, 48. My scoring screen's going crazy right now. Once again, Jordan Askovic having a good run today. He's currently 7th in points. Three top fives, 7 top tens throughout the season. Had a 4th at the Texas Oval. A 3rd at the Charlotte Oval. And a 3rd a couple weeks ago in Daytona, or at the beginning in Daytona. All right. Brian Hoskins. Riding with Brian. Going past the guys that are pitting now. That's going to move Brian Hoskins to 4th in front of Jordan Haskovic. Ty Williams holding down that 3rd spot. All right, getting down to it. 14 to go. Coming up on 13 to go. Still riding with Brian Hoskins. Let's see. Top 2 are 5 seconds ahead of 3rd. So that's Ryan Enlow out front. Dustin Reinsettle 2nd. 5 seconds to Ty Williams. Then Brian Hoskins. Here we go. Ryan Enlow. Truck in front there, the 35 truck. Dustin Reinsettle right on his 6.4 seconds back with 12 laps to go. Ty Williams not as far back as the timing and scoring says. That's not 4 seconds. I'll tell you that. My timing says 4 seconds back. It looks like there is a lapper in between Ryan Settle. There's Ty Williams. Yeah, thank you. Okay. That's a lap truck behind these two here. So the 3rd truck, it's like a 26 maybe. 28, Norm. Sorry, I didn't recognize you there, Norm. Norm trying to unlap himself now. Not wanting to get in the middle of the fight either, but Dustin Reinsettle tucks low. With 10 to go, time to go is now. Norm, who's Norm going to help out? You have to pick a friend here, Norm. Or go on your own and try to pass them both. But this is the race for the lead. With 2 chase truck drivers in front of you. I know Norm might think he has the faster truck right now. Be a tough moral decision. I know Norm is a man of morals. Will do the right thing. This time, Ryan Enlow goes down low. Dustin Reinsettle finally decides to go down low, right behind him. Enlow swings it out wide. 10 to go. The tension's building. It's going to be a battle between these two. Unless Ty Williams can reel in 4 seconds. He was 5, now he's only 4. So these guys fighting has let Ty Williams reel him back in a little bit. Dustin Reinsettle gets up right behind him. Is Norm going to give him a bump draft to get around him? Does he need one? We got another lap truck in front of them. I believe it looks like the 20 of Josh Watt. But Ryan Enlow takes the high line again. Dustin Reinsettle down low. Ryan Enlow riding the cushion. It's a little bit slower. Norm Snyder blocks off the inside line. Ryan Enlow with nowhere to go. Stays in line this time. Again, Ryan Enlow knows that this is not the lap you want to lead. But Dustin Reinsettle says, I'll take the low line, see if I can use these lap trucks as interference. Just hold your line, fellas, hold your line. Let the faster trucks get around you. Josh Watt goes wide, Dustin Reinsettle in the middle. Ryan Enlow follows Dustin around Josh Watt. Thank you, Josh, for staying out of the way. Got a front row seat. Josh and Norm side by side. It's like Norm making moves. Justin Thaler's trapped a lap down. Norm Snyder's the first truck a lap down. But meanwhile, Dustin Reinsettle has completed the pass for the lead. Ryan Enlow right behind him, not giving up. Behind him, Josh Watt. Norm Snyder fighting. I believe that's Norm. Ryan Enlow looking for a way to get the lead back from Dustin Reinstedel. Now we got the lap truck in between. The leaders at Ryan Enlow has to go the high there. That is the 28 truck. Norm Snyder. Ryan Enlow forced to go high there. Not sure that's exactly what he wanted. But Dustin Reinstedel in the 11. Norm has a right to be there. He can't just disappear. He's not supposed to just pull over and let everybody go. Got a right to be there. Dustin Reinstedel is not complaining. Got the 9 truck up ahead. That's James Olofsson. He does not want to go a lap down, I'm sure. Riding with Dustin Reinstedel, looking back at Norm to get around Olofsson. Thank you, James. Norm Schneider takes another spot away. Justin Taylor a couple seconds back from them, but Dustin Reinstedel trying to hold the lead with 5 to go. Ryan Enlow now stuck behind 2 lappers, at least 1 lapper now. Let's see if Ryan Enlow, he's been fast all night, deserves to be up front. Dustin Reinstedel, there we go, there's Ryan Enlow in 35, white hood with the blue sides and rear. Cannot get around Norm Snyder. Ryan Enlow, I believe, is faster, but cannot get around Norm. I like the blimp chase here. There he is, Dustin Reinstedel, Norm Snyder, the lap truck, Ryan Enlow fanning out wide, trying to carry more momentum. Let's see if we can get him coming into turn 3 this time. Across the line. Sorry, in turn 1. Ryan Enlow finally clears Norm Snyder, I believe. Nope, I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong ones. Dustin Reinstedel in the white, off-white, number 11. Norm Snyder in the 28. The lap truck, Ryan Enlow, the white hood with the blue deck lid, is actually in second. There's Norm trying to unlap himself maybe with only 2 to go. I think Norm might be helping Dustin here. Ryan Enlow's just got to do the best he can. Might be settling for second place unless he can either put the bumper to Norm or if he decides it's not worth it, just take second and move on. 2 laps to go. This is the battle for the lead. With the lap truck caught in the middle, but Ryan Enlow with nowhere to go. Trying to pick an alternate line. Final lap. Next flag ends the race. Ryan Enlow may get around Norm, but it'll be too little too late. Dustin Reinstedel exits turn 2 down the long back stretch. Josh Watt stays low again. Thank you, Josh. Ryan Enlow gets a great run coming down the back stretch. We're coming to the flag. This is it. The race win. Race win for Dustin Reinstedel. Ryan Enlow, not the happiest guy tonight. Ryan Enlow is going to go to sleep tonight wondering what could have been. But Dustin Reinstedel, the current points leader, is going to stretch his lead out in the championship as he takes the win again. Another checkered flag for Dustin Reinstedel. Give him the points. Move him even further away. Fireworks. going off at the Auto Club Speedway for Dustin Reinstedel. Congratulations to the number 11 truck, the winningest number in NASCAR, number 11, Pikeville, Kentucky. His 4th win of the season. Congratulations to Dustin Reinstedel. Pikeville, Kentucky is Wiener Dog Dash as his co-pilot. As he parks it right on. There we go. It's some burnouts. Nice. Don't need those tires anymore. Right onto the right up to the winner's circle. Dustin Reinstedel parks it on the 19th hole, Victory Lane. How about that? Dustin is a golf coach in Kentucky. Parks it on the 19th hole. Pretty awesome. Congratulations to Dustin Reinstedel. See if we can get him up here in the booth. He's not here yet, but we're going to try to grab him here. Dustin Reinstedel is going to increase his points lead. And I believe we have the winner who just parked his truck fittingly on the 19th hole at Auto Club Speedway. Congratulations, Dustin. What a race.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was probably the best fuel mileage race I think we've had in a while in the truck series. That was a really tough call. I'm not gonna lie, me and Justin were talking about it, and I didn't think we could cut it. But the tire wear kind of helped us out there for sure.
Yeah, you did great, Dustin. I saw you and Ryan Enlow were battling it out with 15 or 20 to go, and just lap after lap, almost trading spots. And then it looked like you guys came up on a lap truck. I believe it was Norm in the 28, and he kind of got in between y'all. Was that something that you were playing off of and blocking Norm so he would make sure he stayed behind you and in between you and Ryan?
I definitely owe Norm a virtual beer for sure. He definitely kept pushing
that's great.
me.
It's just the way it played out, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. He was pushing me, so he wasn't really in a hurry to go around, so I just kept trying to make sure I stayed on his nose instead of giving Enlow air. But that was pretty solid.
Right.
I don't know if Enlow ran out of gas there at the end or what happened.
It looked like clean air was king, which it usually is. But I'm looking at your season, Dustin. You've had quite the heck of a season, man. You're going to have another checkered flag at the end of your name there on their Discord. But 3 wins. This is number 4. 4 poles. You're leading the points coming into this race. You're going to extend the lead. Ryan Enlow was second, and now he's going to still be second, but a couple more points behind. How's it looking for the championship? And talk about your knowledge of Watkins Glen next week.
Enlow will definitely be one of the guys to beat. Enlow and JT for sure. Enlow was really strong at Sonoma, and JT's a great road guy. Definitely has dominated the truck series the last 2 seasons. So for me, going for the 0X, try to get 2 extra bonus points there, and just attempt to win, but something around 3rd, 4th, something like that. I've been all right at road courses this year. I think I've gotten second in most of them, including in the other series. So we'll see. Watkins Glen's kind of every oval guy's favorite road course, so everybody should be a little better there.
Right on. Well, after Watkins Glen, there's only 2 other chase races, man. So it's real exciting to watch you come through the field like you did tonight. Not the best qualifying, but you pulled it off. And man, congratulations, Dustin, once again. I'll give you a couple minutes to shout out anybody, and just really happy for you, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. My guys over at WJM Motorsports, of course, and Garza Law Firm that's on the truck helping me out. Definitely the admin, of course. I always give them a shout out, giving me a hard time. We actually all got to meet up at the Indianapolis road course race last weekend. So that was pretty cool. All of us, other than about two guys, all of the in-state guys, I believe. So that was pretty neat to meet everybody actually in person and hang out. And they're not too bad of guys. I was telling my wife, was like, you're going to meet people that you see on iRacing. It's kind of weird. I'm like, well, I talk to them 4 times a week, and she's off doing rotations right now, and she was like, oh, you talk to them more than you talk to me, and I'm like, let me back up here. So we had a good time. It was a great
Oh,
race.
that's funny.
Good hanging
That's
out with
awesome.
everybody.
It is cool, man. Just another way that iRacing really does bring people together, man. And I tell you what, you brought it together. You got the win tonight. Congratulations once again. We'll see you on the Discord, and looking forward to Watkins Glen in 7 days.
Alrighty, thank you.
And that's it, man. Once again, we want to thank everybody for joining us. Big shout out to Greg Drace from the Sim Racer Podcast, the Sim Racing Podcast. Don't forget to check him out. Track Racer affiliation. If you need any sim rig stuff, take a picture of the QR codes. Track Racers on the top. The Sim Racing Podcast below. And we have there we go, Watkins Glen, Dover, and then Nashville Super Speedway is the next 3 races. So September 8th, we'll wrap it up. That's the rest of the schedule. And that's it for Colin Huffman down in the truck. Josh Watt running the broadcast and Twitch stream. I'm James J signing off. We will see you next Friday for truck racing at the Glen. Have a great week, guys.